Hey, good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Go to the main chapter. Click record. Okay, welcome. Today is June 8th. That's crazy to say. I never wear white. This is crazy. I'm wearing a white gym shirt. It kind of got stuck in between all the black in my closet. So I just pulled it out. We are in summer, so I figured I'd pull on a gym shirt. The only people that will see me in this shirt will be my third grader and the people at the gym. Otherwise, when I leave to actually start my day, I'm always in black. Um, so yeah, I missed last week and I really felt some kind of way about it. Sorry, that's my dog's claws in the background. His little nails on the floor. Um, I was kind of in a fog last week, definitely way busy. The schedule kind of shifted. Did try to record, and I don't know, I was maybe like 10 or 15 minutes in, and I was like, this is shit. I'm not putting this out. Maybe to someone else it would have sounded differently, but I need to feel good about what I'm putting out there as far as creating something, and I just didn't feel good about it. I felt like it was too all over the place. So there we go. I've made peace with missing a week, and I hope you have too. Thank you to everyone who is listening. I am very grateful, and it makes it more real. Not that I'm checking stats. I just figured out how to check stats not that long ago, so it was by mistake that I even saw the stats. Um, but it does give me a little bit of encouragement. Hi, good morning. You're going back to bed. I'll wake you up. Last day of school. Um, it does give me the encouragement, like it makes me accountable when I know, even if you're listening to it to make fun of me, or you're listening to it um, because you think I have terrible grammar, or you're listening to it because it really helps you, someone is listening. So it makes it like I feel this connection, which is super powerful. And getting back to the original reason for starting this, like, we need each other, we need people, I need people, I need you. So thank you for listening. Let's see what has been going on. So my daughter graduated high school. That was super cool. um, the ceremony was not terribly long, which was helpful. I've been to some pretty long graduations, and everyone has to walk the stage. So if you have a big class, it is what it is. Um, Her dad, my ex-husband, was able to be there, and he's always been at all this stuff. It's not like um, he wouldn't have been there, but it was really a nice day to have the family together. The weather was beautiful. Um, she was in good spirits, and then we went to lunch afterwards. So it was all in all a really good day. Very proud of her and all of the students who graduated. I was out of coffee this morning, which is like sacrilege in this house. So I left and went to Dunkin' Donuts at like 5:30 in the morning to get a bag of coffee and a cup of coffee. And the guy who works there, he works between two Dunkin' Donuts. So he sees me all the time, because sometimes I'll hit both of them in a day, like a liquor store. Like, if you have ever been in any kind of 12-step recovery, or you might do this now, like if you're an active alcoholic, I love you just the same, like no judgment. Um, but sometimes we talk about, like, you'd go to one liquor store and then go hit up another one, so they wouldn't, like, the first cashier or the first liquor store wouldn't know you were buying more alcohol, which, sitting where I am today, is hilarious, because now I know no one cares what I'm doing. No one. Like, no one on this planet cares what I do. So anyhow, he saw me in the drive-through, this guy, and he was like, why are you here so early? And I told him I ran out of coffee. And he's like, aren't you married or something? I'm like, nope, it's just me. Like when I run out of something, I got to go and get it. And for coffee, I will leave at 5:30 in the morning. Delicious. So yeah, the graduation was really good. Um, she finished her classes in January. So she walked the stage last week, but has been not physically in school since January. And she finished a real estate class. So Tuesday and Thursday nights from January up until a few weeks ago, she was doing this real estate class, which is really cool. And she'll take that exam. I don't know whenever she takes it to get her license through the state of Maryland. Buddy, you have to get dressed before you play video game. Thanks. Sorry, guys. Um, so Memorial Day weekend, I don't even think I've recorded since then. Memorial Day weekend, I DoorDash sometimes for extra cash, and I really like it. I can listen to audiobooks or music. There's minimal interaction with people, and I make money. So it's a win-win. There was a promotion that DoorDash had if you did X amount of deliveries in Baltimore City on Memorial Day weekend, they would give you a substantial amount of additional cash on top of your deliveries. So I was like, absolutely. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. I grew up right on the city county line, but I spent a lot of time in Baltimore City. So it's easy for me to navigate. I know where everything is. And even if you don't, today we have GPS. So it was so emotional for me, and I wasn't expecting it. One of my deliveries was at the bottom of the street that I grew up on. So, of course, I drove by. Um, Another one of the deliveries was in an area that I used to live in when I was not in an amazing space in my life. I drove by the preschool where I went. Sorry, there's a dog walking by. Here we go. Here we go. I am so sorry. Ugh. Um, I actually cried when I drove by the preschool. So there was always a chapel at the preschool. The chapel is still in use. The preschool, it doesn't look like there's any type of activity there. So there's an alley that goes alongside the preschool, and when I drove down that alley, it's parallel to, I think it was my 5-year-old class, my fours and fives, so I guess kindergarten. And I remember things that we used to grow in the windows that you could see from the alley. And I started crying. Like I could see my little 5-year-old baby self. And being a mother of three today, my daughter's upcoming graduation at this point, having a third grader who's finishing school, a young man who is, taking leaps and bounds in his own life, personally, professionally. Um, it really brought tears to my eyes, like how things come full circle, but that still little 5-year-old or 7 or 8-year-old girl is still in me. Like she hasn't gone away. So very emotional weekend, but also very exciting. So down in the city, the squeegee kids and just like saying like, no, thank you. Cause please don't touch my car. Cause I am like really anal about my car. But, just feeling the life and the pulse of the city will always have a place in my heart. There was a guy who was on a dirt bike and I was at a stop sign. There wasn't much traffic around. So I like put my hand up to call him over, and he came over and he was like, "What's up?" I was like, "I want you to pop it for me. I want to get a video for my kid." And he was so happy to do it. It was really cool. I mean, he did much more than just pop a wheelie. He rode with the front end up for close of like 5 minutes up and down the street. He was doing figure eights and everything. Um, I will always have a soft spot for the city and very grateful to come home to where I live and my home and the environment. that my kids came up in. So let's see what else. Oh, so here's a little tea. I woke up this morning and I really, really try to not even touch my phone before I'm up and like I've maybe prayed, meditated, had some coffee, something. This morning I didn't. So I got up to probably let the dogs out and then grabbed my phone on the way to lay back down. And there was a message in my Instagram. So it was from a woman who is pretty, I'll always remember her name because she spells her name differently. Um, she is the wife of a customer who used to come into a cafe where I worked a lifetime ago. And I remember him telling all of the staff, we would go out sometimes for wine and cheese at this little wine place next to the restaurant. And hold on, something's happening. Hold on. Oh no. Oh no. Please work. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry. Um, so this customer would come in. He was a regular, really nice. The whole staff loved him. And then sometimes after our shift was over, we would all go over to this little wine and cheese place and get pretty sloppy drunk and have fun, talk and but it was always very kosher, no funny business, anything like that. So I've never met his wife, but she's pretty famous. So she reached out to me, and well, first I woke up and there were like all these new likes on my posts. So I'm like, oh, someone new must have been on, and I looked and it was her, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Then I checked my messages. She reaches out. I've recently learned some information about you. And I was like, I already knew what it was. So I messaged her back, and basically, there were some things that have come to light in her relationship with him. They're married. Um, and it, there was nothing that happened, so it wasn't an issue for me. But to really hold and love this woman from a distance, because I've never been in that position, but I have done that to other people, unfortunately, in the past, and it can't feel good. It can't feel good. So it was nice to connect with her. I wished both of them, all the healing and the love and the best in the world. And she was like, I was watching one of your videos on your feed, and it's about what we're going to talk about today. So I thought that was interesting because I was already planning to use this topic for today. Um, but she said it was really helpful for her. So I wish them all the best. And, it's a tough spot to be in. Um, so we'll just get right to it. Um, there's a couple of other little, like, I started a new job. I think I might have mentioned that. That's going well, close to home, no bullshit, super organized, make money, staff is friendly, out can still pick up my son at dismissal. So that's cool. So today I want to talk about we talk a lot about manifesting. I talk a lot about manifesting, especially today. I feel like post COVID, a lot of focus has been on higher ascension, raising the vibration, crystals, meditation, incense, hippy dippy has become very on trend, and I'm all for it. Um, there's no judgment at all. If you were doing it before it became trendy, great. If you just hopped on the bandwagon, great. Because to me, it's all healing. It's all learning more about yourself, but also learning more about yourself in an effort to release the illusion of separation, that we're all connected. So, manifesting is great and I'm all for it. I do it often. Um, but today I want to talk about making the space. So, you have to make the space before anything that you want to manifest or create or desire. You have to make space for it to come into your life. So, some ways that I have found that have been really helpful um, are first, and it doesn't need to be like, it doesn't need to be in chronological order um, or a linear order. You need to get clear on what it is that you want. Okay, so I'll use something I'm doing as a quick example. Um, I wanted to find a mate, we'll say like 3 years ago. And I wrote down, I got really clear on like the type of person I wanted. And within like 2 months, that person came into my life and they checked every single box. So it can happen that quickly. Um, the more clear you are, the easier it is for your higher consciousness, universe, God, Goddess, Allah, Buddha, Jesus, okay? Like all encompassing here. Um, Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So the more clear you are, the easier it is for your higher self creator to bring it into you, to give it to you. Um, the second thing, and again, this does not need to be done in a specific order, you have to physically make the space. Okay, so basically, I'm going to be a straight shooter here. Clean your house. Like, clean your shit. Clean your car. You can start small. Like, you don't need to overwhelm yourself. You don't need to wait until the new year to do this. You know, so often people make these New Year's resolutions and they don't stick because there's no real work happening. So, daily tidying, super important. But what about that closet? What about that drawer? What about that area in the basement where you just shove everything? So we can start with a closet because it's what holds our clothes. Now, I actually need to do this. I did it not that long ago, and I feel like I need to do it again. If you are keeping, and even more so, wearing clothes that are no longer part of who you are, then we're still holding on to something that doesn't serve us. And I know this sounds really woo woo, but hear me out. It's okay to change who you were yesterday. You can give, if you're the one who is making the to-do list, the goal, the deadline, you can also edit that. And a few years ago, I really struggled with this. You know, when I started this scholastic journey going back to school, I had a time in my head where I'm like, I'm going to be done by this time. And then when life happened and I had to be flexible in that, I was not flexible. And it caused me a lot of pain. It caused a lot of judgment. It caused a lot of really negative self talk. So, today, because of that experience and a few others, I've learned, you know, have some love and grace with yourself. If you were, I don't know, a person last year that did X and you discovered you don't want to do that anymore, it's okay to change. It's okay to become a different person. I think the scariest thing is to be the same person that you were last year. Like, constantly keep growing, always be a student, always learn. And to be a student, I do not mean you have to be physically in a university or a school, because there is the University of YouTube and it's amazing. Um, so cleaning out closets, really important. And don't just don't just get a bin and put all the shit in there and then put it in the basement or another part of your house, because then we're just like moving the stuff around. Hoarding is a direct manifestation of something deeper going on within the psyche, within the emotional psyche, within the subtle bodies. of the physical sheath and then the emotional sheath. Okay, so you may need to seek professional help. I'm not a professional, but hoarding is a direct physical manifestation of holding on to old ideas, holding on to old belief systems, holding on to old relationships that are really no longer serving us. And sometimes these relationships, they don't always have to be external. It can be the relationship that you hold with yourself. So, examining those and getting really clear on those will help you move toward what it is you want to become, who it is you want to become. So, first, let go of what no longer serves you. If it doesn't have a purpose in your life, and actually, the phase the moon is moving into here soon is a really good time to do this, is just kind of letting go of whatever it is that isn't working yet or isn't working anymore. Um, so make the space, um, cleaning out your car. So your vehicle is a representation of the mind. Um, when I, gosh, I'll never forget this dream. I had a dream years ago. I was in a relationship clearly no longer working. It hadn't worked in a long time, but I was holding on. And because I'm a Taurus and I'm loyal and I'll hold on till the end there. Um, so I had this dream. I was in the vehicle I was currently driving in real life. And oh, here it goes again. See, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. My YouTubers, bear with me. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me click on this. So I was in the vehicle that I was driving at the time, and there was a bird that was trapped. Its entrails were trapped in the window, like the window and the car itself. The window had been rolled down a bit, and the bird's intestines were kind of trapped in between the window that had been rolled down. The bird got, stuck, and then the windows rolled up. So it's trapped. And this poor bird, I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and this bird is flapping its wings, flapping its wings. It is frantically trying to get away. Finally, finally, the intestines snap and the bird starts to fly free. And from the depths of the earth, this beast, wolf, cat, um, dog, some sort of dark animal, spiraled up and snatched it out of the air. And in an instant, its neck was snapped and it was dead. And that was the moment that I knew I really needed to leave and just end it and let go of the fear of what's on the other side of this relationship, because um, I do a little bit of dream interpretation, and that was very clear to me. What I interpreted was my spirit, represented by the bird, was so desperately trying to get away and still tied to this old vehicle of thinking, this old mode of thought process. And as soon as I did break free, you know, in the dream, I'd waited too long. So my spirit was dying. And I left soon thereafter. And, we leave when we leave. So there's that. So the second thing, um, cleaning out the car, really important, because especially where I live, a vehicle is necessary. So you're in the vehicle a lot. I drive a lot, and you deserve it. You deserve to be in a clean space. You deserve to be in an organized space. And if you don't believe that, then there's some work to be done there, because you do. Within the home, getting rid of things that don't bring you joy. So when it's kind of like feng shuiing your house. So when you hold something in your home, it should bring a sense of joy, peace, a happy memory. And if it doesn't, then we need to get rid of it, or if it doesn't serve a purpose. So for example, this here, I keep this on my desk, right? So this is a candle my daughter recently gave me. It smells great. I'm probably never going to burn it, but every time I look at it, it reminds me of the moment she gave it to me for my birthday, I think, my most recent birthday. Um, there was a little like wine, was it wine? Is it flower? I think flower and jazz festival on Main Street where we live. And she went there and specifically like picked out things for me from this. So really special to me. Um, so yeah, cleaning the house and allowing space, like clearing up the clutter, and you will start to see as soon as you start doing this, things will change. Um, so your desk, like clearing off your desk. Listen, I'm gonna be real. I had to clear off my desk before I recorded today because we have been busy. Like I door dashed an entire weekend. I've started a new job. I'm working more shifts, and she graduated. So lots of really great things, but also things around the house have piled up. Had past tense because I already took care of it all. Um, and let's see, does it bring you joy? Just have some notes here. And then considering what purpose does it serve? So is it like a purpose that you're kind of clinging to? Like, yes, this still serves a purpose because and then we're holding on to old beliefs or hoarding, or does it really need to go? Really important to give it to someone else who can use it, donating it. There's a local women's shelter where I live for women and children. So the clothes that I don't need anymore, don't want anymore, I'll probably send down there. I think Goodwill they charge too much money now, and I don't like donating to them. So when you start to make the space, what it is that you desire, it will come to you. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but trust and believe it will come to you. And continuing, this is not like a one and done process. So then continuing to examine what thought processes you have around money, relationships, wealth, health, all of these things. So continuing to re examine until you're not thinking about it as much. Hold on. I swear this is the last time I'm going to have to do this. Okay. Okay, sorry. So re-examining your thoughts around relationships, money, wealth, prosperity, health, traveling, traveling. So that was a really big one for me. I always was like, well, I had my family young, and these kids, I had to take care of these kids, and that's that old like single mother victim mentality bullshit. Once I got to a point where, because look, women travel all the time with children. Like me having children young did not prevent me from traveling the world. I prevented me from traveling the world. So, first step in traveling, you got to get a passport. Mine should be here in a couple of weeks. I applied for it months ago. So, it's all, you're always going to be the problem. And I mean that with the most love and respect, but anything that is not the way that you want it to be in your life, you have a role in that. You have a part in that. The good news is you can change that because we only can control ourselves. So, giving yourself permission to change, first of all, getting clear on what it is you want to evolve into, and then clearing the space. Lastly, and this one is really, really important. Again, you can clean your closet first and then write down what you want to manifest. You can manifest and then clean. It doesn't need to be in a certain order. So we've done the house. We've kind of done like the head and the heart with writing it down. Now, the physical body. And this is where yoga comes in. You can deep clean, spring clean, spot check clean with yoga with your body. So, again, there are a ton of free resources on YouTube. You can go to my website on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, it's melissasalazaryoga.com. Melissasalazar, yoga.com. There's some information there. You can start, with a 5-minute practice. You can start going to a class at your local yoga studio. But yoga is a really, really effective way to move old emotions, old experiences, not just through the body, but also through and out of the body. And by doing that, you're going to make more space for new experiences to come into your life. every time your body is in a new position that you've never been in before, every time you do something new that you've never done before, the brain is actually strengthened because it's creating more synapses. So when you are letting go and doing this at the same time, it's very powerful and it may happen even faster than just writing it down or just tidying up the house. So I think that's all the time I have for today, and that works out because that's all the notes I have. Thank you again. I really appreciate you listening. We are going to go get ready now for the last day of third grade. So exciting. We already have munchkins. We are ready. It's a half day and then going to the pool. So I hope everyone breathes clearly today, and sending lots of love to our friends up north in Canada. I really do think they're just trying to sage us. I mean, America needs a lot of help. So many blessings and love and light. Thank you for listening. Bye.